Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's the God Achilles here. I'm bringing you a brand new YouTube video here today. And in case you guys haven't been able to adjust properly to Modern Warfare, or you guys just need a little setup, class setup, I'm going to go ahead and give that to you guys here today. So the real two questions are you okay with being a slight scumbag? And two, if you play ground war a lot, this is what this class setup is going to be. This is going to be a ground war based class setup that I have been running, and it has been doing absolute work. I've been lapping kill streaks with this build, with this class setup for quite some time now. So I'm going to make the class setup for you guys in the in custom games, because there's going to be about 2 variations you could do on this, and I'm going to show you why I have to do this in custom matches. So what everyone knows by now is the 725 shotgun is super freaking good. It one shots up close, rarely ever get hit markers. So we're going to get into the guns we're going to be using first, but first I have to put on overkill. So I'll go through the perks. We're going to be running overkill because we're running sniper shotgun. And the shotgun is just for anybody that wants to run up on you while you're sniping. The sniper is going to be a majority of where you get your kills. So it's going to be sniper mainly, and then you're going to swap your shotgun in case someone pushes you. So we're going to have to run overkill. The second thing we're going to run is we're going to run kill chain. Now, why are we running kill chain? I'll get to that here in a little bit when we go over the kill streaks. Because if you guys use this, there's going to be two different kill streak setups I'm going to show you that are going to allow you to drop a lot of kills in ground war, as long as you can get them. So you want kill chain simply for the sheer fact that your kill streaks earned that life count towards your next kill streak. So it's like Modern Warfare 2 all over again. So then for your perk 3, it's really all up to you which one you want to use. I personally will use Spotter, but the other two I say that you would be that you could use would be Battle Hardened, because people do like to flash and use stun grenades quite a lot in this game. If you're not getting stunned or flashed as much, you could go with Shrapnel and get an extra piece of lethal. But I tend to use Spotter a lot, because in case I get killed off the spot I'm sniping from and I want to get back there, I want to make sure nobody has a claymore down in the door or anywhere else. I want to be able to see it. So that's that. Of course, our lethal is going to be a claymore, because we're going to be sniping. You know, unless you're a quick scoper, you're going to kind of need to sit back and just pick people off to get your kill streaks. And your kill streaks are going to get you a majority of your kills, but you just have to get enough to get those kill streaks. So we're going to use a claymore to help us out there. We're also going to use a stun grenade. Why are we using stun grenades? Flash grenades are nice. Okay, they're real nice, don't get me wrong. But stun grenades in this game are super strong for some reason, at least from what I've seen. I got stunned twice, and both times I've died because I cannot. It might also be the sensitivity I play on, but I cannot, like, once the dude is past my reticle, I cannot actually hit him. So it's just instant death. Like, especially in this game with you dying so quickly, stun grenades, if that dude can't hit his shots, he's just dead. It's just a free kill. So that's why we use stun grenades. So we're going to get into our secondary weapon, which is going to be a 725. Now, obviously, if you don't have the 725 maxed out, it's okay. You're only using it close quarters, so it's going to one-shot with no attachments on it. So keep that in mind. But I will show you the setup you're going to want for it. So what you are going to want is Monolithic Suppressor, because it's going to increase your damage range, and that's truly all you want it for. Now, you could make an argument to use Barrel Choke for the tighter pellet spread, but with the area that you're going to be using it in, we're not trying to snipe with this thing. We're not trying to snipe people with it. It's not Black Ops 4 MOG 12 long barrel choke Dragon's Breath. You know, we're not using that. So we don't necessarily need choke. If you do happen to get a hit marker up close, they're very, very rare. And they're most of the time when you're hip firing. So monolithic suppressor is going to be what you're going to want. On your barrel, you're going to want the 32-inch competition barrel. This is going to give you a tighter bullet spread and increase your damage range even further. Now, the other one that I think is mandatory is the Commando foregrip. All these other foregrips, as you can see, just really aren't as good as the Commando foregrip. It increases your range more than any other one here. And I mean, like, if you want, the Ranger foregrip is the same, is literally almost identical. So you can use the Ranger foregrip too if you want it, but the Commando foregrip is like one of the first things you unlock. So I say stick with the Commando foregrip. You're also going... Now, this is not necessary. You do not need slug rounds on this. If you want to use slug rounds, you go right ahead. Telling you, you don't need them though. But this will also... Putting slug rounds on it will... How do I say this? So you won't be able to kill multiple people with it because, like, it won't have a spread. It'll just be a slug. But you get the extra damage range. Me, personally, I like the slugs. So I'm going to put the slugs on. Now, if you don't like slugs, guess what? You don't have to use them. So I'm going to show you the setup I use for slugs and without slugs. So what we have, 4 attachments now. You get 1 more. So the last one, I would say, is up to you. But since this is a shotgun and sometimes you're going to be getting pushed by 3, sometimes 4 people, a whole squad, you're going to want sleight of hand. Just because you don't want to get caught in a situation where you don't have ammo. Now, this is my class. This is my shotgun setup for... And like I said, I only use this when people are trying to run into buildings and get me out of my spot. So... This is my shotgun setup. Now, if you don't want slug rounds, it's fine. You don't have to have slug rounds. I promise you. You'll do just as fine without slug rounds. I like them. You don't have to use them. What I would suggest would be anything here that's going to either increase your accuracy or your mobility. So... With this, you're not really looking to... I mean, you can use just strictly this, and you would do just fine. So, like, you could come down here, and you could use a laser sight. You could use... I mean, you could use a lot of things. I would say, personally, I would probably go with the... with a guard. Just because you're going to be using this a lot to run through buildings and such. And personally, I would say the Forge Tack Steady Grip would probably be the best, just for the sheer fact that you get faster sprint to fire speed. So if you're sprinting through a building, which I really don't suggest doing unless you have dead silence because your footsteps are so loud, I would use this. But if you're using dead silence, it definitely Forge Tack. No dead silence, no problem. You can throw an this slot here is truly up to you. You can use a laser sight if you want tighter bullet spread or better hip fire accuracy. You can use a stock if you really want to, like faster aiming speed, aiming stability. What I would personally do is I would just go for a grip. I would personally probably just use this. I would probably use the Tempest Slim Grip just for the aiming, walking steadiness, and the aiming stability. So you're not like it just increases your accuracy is really all it does, and it gives you slightly more control because this thing does kick quite a lot when you shoot it. But me, I use slug rounds, so that's usually my 5th perk anyway, and I really don't need much else. So the only problem with having slug rounds, I will say, is if you miss, you're probably dead. But the chances of that happening, I mean, yeah, it'll happen every once in a while, but if you're using this thing the way you're supposed to, you're not gonna miss. Promise you, you're not gonna miss. But, you know, there is that chance. Okay, so that's enough about the shotgun, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the sniper rifle. And no, we are not using the AX-50. Don't even try the AX-50. I'm gonna tell you why. You're not gonna use the AX-50 because the HDR gets more range. And that's truly it. Now, look, it has less damage, but more range. This thing will get you one-shot kills across the map. As long as you can hit them and you're within the range, because this thing, you'll never be able to get maxed out range on it. If you're within, like, once you use it enough, once you're within range, all you gotta do is put it on their head and you will kill them. So, I have tested the AX50 and the HDR. The HDR is what you're going to want to go for. I promise you, if you use the AX50, you're going to get more hit markers or more missed shots than the HDR. Promise. So you're going to want the HDR. For this, you're going to want, once again, monolithic suppressor, because you see it increases your accuracy, your range, you get slightly less mobility and a little less control. But the point in ground war is you're supposed to be a ghost when you use this. So you want, not only does this give you sound suppression, it gives you increased damage range, which is what you want. You want to be able to get one shot. You don't want to have to shoot somebody more than one time. So then we're going to come over here, and you're going to want the 26.9 HDR Pro. Literally the first barrel you will unlock is the 26.9 HDR Pro. You want that for the increased damage range. You're not using a laser. The optic you're going to want. This is going to take you the longest to get. You're going to want the thermal dual power scope. Now, why the thermal? Thermal is so good in this game because even if a player has ghost, they're still so visible on screen. It's if you're not using thermal, you're just if you're not using thermal, you're just getting crapped on by thermal. And it's also a variable zoom. Now, another thing that thermal does that helps a lot is it also gets rid of the sniper glare. So if you're aiming through your scope, you'll see other snipers that are aiming, they'll have a glare. This gets rid of that. So you no longer have to guess on where the person's head at. Now you can always just tell me like, oh, you're just bad if you can't hit them through their sniper glare. Like, I get it, but it's a factor. There are sometimes people that aren't as good at the game might miss because of it. This takes that factor completely out. So we're gonna use the thermal dual power scope. And trust me, it is a game changer once you get that. You have to get this thing to, I believe, what is level 30, and it only goes up to 37. So you get it very late. Other than that, the other thing we're going to be using is focus, because we get increased flinch resistance and we get just a hair bit more range. And then the last perk we're going to be using, we're not using bipod. We're going to use a 9-round magazine. Why are we using the 9-round magazine? Simply for the sheer fact, if you're sniping at people across the map, you don't want to have to be out of your scope, unzooming at them, or you don't want to be out of your scope, because if they're a sniper too and you have to reload, they're already setting their sights where you're at. As soon as you peek back up, you're dead. So you don't want to have to deal with getting out sniped because you don't have ammo. Now what this also does, if you don't want to run focus, I highly recommend focus, but you do not have to run it. You can run fully loaded to give yourself full ammunition. You will spawn in with roughly like 80 sniper rounds. So you will never need ammo as long as the game is going on. If you don't want that and the only other thing I say is viable besides focus or fully loaded is probably sleight of hand. Sleight of hand isn't necessarily bad. If you want to run frangible, you can. But what people do when they get hit with frangible ammunition, like it's nice because it doesn't allow them to heal for an extended period of time. People just wait until they just camp until their health comes back. And I've seen it. So I honestly say that focus is the best perk here, but it is not necessary, but it is highly recommended. You can run fully loaded, and I have, and I never needed ammo. It's nice. but focus is going to be what you want. So there we have our 5 perks. Let's go a quick run through. Monolithic Suppressor, 26.9 HDR Pro, Dual Power Thermal Scope, 9-round mag, and Focus. Now look at the range in the left-hand corner. Look at the range on that. We are almost max range. So what does this mean? This means that you can aim straight at somebody's head. Like if you're playing the district map, which is one of my favorite maps in this whole game because I like to snipe. And you just get on top of a building and you just ping people. What this does is, since we almost have max range, you can just put your crosshair right on top of somebody. Right on their head. Pull the trigger. I guarantee you if it's an enemy, you're getting a kill. There is the occasion that you might get a hit marker. It happens. It's Call of Duty. But with this setup, you will not be getting that many hit markers. You will be getting long shot, one-shot kills. Almost all the time. So there you have it, guys. If you guys are struggling to either get your KD up, or you're trying to drop high kill games, and you just find yourself struggling a slight bit, I drop 20 bombs with this just about every game as long as I get my kill streaks. If I get my kill streaks, I run big boy streaks, and I'll be getting into those here in just a second. This class up is a very big quality of life change. As long as you know where to look and where to set up to snipe, you will do well with this build as long as you have a decent shot. Just pick your shots, and you will see results. I guarantee you. The HDR is super good in this game. So, what I'll get into now is the kill streak setup. Your field upgrade is up to you. There are 2 of them that I do recommend, though. Stopping power rounds. I personally run stopping power rounds. This guarantees you will get a one-shot kill pretty much anywhere in the upper body. It takes that hint of doubt that when you pull the trigger, you're going to get a hit marker. Now, this does not obviously one-shot kill somebody in the foot, but this guarantees that you're going to get a one-shot kill. Almost guarantees. Like 99.9. Or I wouldn't say 9. I'd say probably like 95%. The other 2 that you could use it munitions box. It's pretty nice to be able to resupply ammo, claymores, so people just can't keep rushing you. I will say this, if you are playing solo, you're not playing with any friends, you're playing Ground War solo, munitions box is almost a must, because you want to be able to keep your claymores up. You don't have people watching your back, so you want to be able to keep your claymores up. And if somebody does get through your claymore, well, then that's when you just pull out the 725 and show them what's up. So munitions box, stopping power rounds. The other one, I will say that you could use. These 2 are kind of like meh, but you could use them. I have used them both. You could use tactical insertion. The only bad thing is it runs out after if you don't die. It's nice if you're if you like getting into like constant sniper battles with people that you might be losing. It allows you to just spawn right back on your building. It's quite nice. So most of the time, I wouldn't necessarily say I have that problem. There are a few games that I'm getting out sniped, and it happens. Tactical insertion is there for you. It's like Motel 8. They'll leave the light on for you. The other one you could use is the deployable cover. The deployable cover, and what I used it for, and it's actually really good at this. So you can, let's say you're on one of the maps, on one of the top of the spots in District. What you can do is you can, if you're being able to be seen from someplace else and you don't want to be seen from them, you can set it on the railing that covers your body, so you essentially have another cover so they can't snipe you, and it's really nice, but you have to have the right spot for that. But the 2 I recommend highly are stopping power rounds and then munitions box. Other way around if you're playing solo with no friends. Munitions box, then stopping power rounds. So now we're going to get into the kill streaks. Everyone's favorite part because they get you a lot of kills. It shows that you're doing well in the game. So we're just going to go ahead. There's going to be 2 kill streak setups that I'm going to show you. One of them is going to be a consistent kill streak one. The other one's going to be a high risk, very high reward kill streak setup. So the low risk, decent reward one, I would say would be either you can use cluster strike or precision airstrike, whichever one you want to use. I personally have found more use out of precision airstrike than cluster strike, but if you like cluster strike more than precision, go right ahead. The next one is the VTOL jet. The VTOL jet is so good. It is essentially the Harrier strike. Well, I mean, literally it is the Harrier strike, but I think it's a better version of the Harrier strike. I really don't need to say much else there. If you played Modern Warfare 2, you know what the Harrier is. The Harrier got you your chopper gunner got you your nuke. This thing right here is, it's pretty, if put in the right spot, it is the real deal. The other thing you can do with this and why it's so good. If you are on a building and you see that people are getting ready to push you and you have this up, you can hold X and have it come cover your position. So them people that are trying to come to your building are now getting mowed down by this thing. And it's super useful. It has a lot of utility. Now the next one is up to you. There are 2 different ones you can run. And they're only two apart. You can run the chopper gunner, which I personally run for this setup, just because it's more consistent than the gunship. But if you want the maximum amount of reward for your efforts, the gunship is where it's at. If you want the most kills, you want the gunship. Because I think it lasts longer than the chopper, and it's easier to get kills. You shoot 1 rocket at 1 area, and you practically have 4 kills. So once again, you can either run the chopper gunner. The chopper gunner will get you you will get it more consistently, because between these 2, with kill chain is only 2 kills, it's 4 to the gunship. So you have to get 4 kills. Your VTOL would have to get you 4 kills, or you would have to any form of 4. You would either have to snipe 4 more people, which then puts you out, and it could put you in a bad position. Your VTOL would have to kill some people. It's one of those. So only having to kill 2 isn't necessarily that bad. I have been killed off chopper gunner before. It sucks, but that's the consistent kill streak setup. The big boy, or the high risk, very high reward kill streak setup that will get you a lot of kills is VTOL jet, chopper gunner, gunship. If you get your VTOL jet, you really, really, really gotta play safe though. Once you're on your VTOL jet, if your VTOL jet isn't doing anything, it's not getting kills, this is where you really need to start peeking safe spots. Only spots that the area that you're shooting at can see you. Okay? So you want to try to get your chopper gunner, and then your chopper gunner, as long as no one runs up on you and kills you, will get you your gunship. Almost guaranteed. And once that's done, you'll probably, let's say the average let's say you get 8 to 10 kills in your chopper gunner, and your gunship gets you 8 to 10 kills. Well, you just got 20 kills for doing practically nothing. Just sitting in your kill streaks. Seems pretty good, and all you had to do was get 8 kills. So now you're at 28. You're practically dropping 30 bombs every time you get your kill streaks. This is probably the kill streaks that I run are the big boys. I like high risk, high reward. I'm confident in my skills at the game that I can run these. But I do get sniped off of them quite often. It's really heartbreaking. You're on like a 6 kill streak and you get sniped by some random dude in some random building that you didn't see. Heartbreaking. Could be worse though. So, quick overview of the class setup. All it is, HDR. I'm not going to go back through the attachments. HDR, 725. Overkill, kill chain, spotter. Claymore, stun grenades. Kill streak setup, super simple. If you want consistency, cluster strike or precision airstrike, VTOL jet, chopper gunner. If you want high risk, high reward, VTOL, jet, chopper gunner, gunship. I promise you, the high risk, high reward one is so worth it once you get this playstyle down. Now, if you like to, this is not a rush heavy playstyle. You might only get one set of kill streaks per game. So you got to make your kill streaks count if you play like this. It's more of a campier playstyle. So if you don't like slower paced game styles, it's not for you. You can still run these kill streaks, but I'll make a different video on how to on more of a rush heavy one. So this video has already gone on a little too long, a little longer than I wanted it to. But I wanted to try to explain everything as best as I possibly could, so everyone watching will understand why I picked the attachments I did, why I picked the kill streaks I did, and why I picked the tactical, the lethal, and the field upgrades. So I want to thank everyone who does watch this for watching. If you liked it, please be sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @thegodachilles_. It'll be down in the description below. And be also to follow my live stream over at twitch.tv/thegodachilles. I stream this game almost every single day using this setup. And it's been working phenomenal. Just to show you that I'm not kidding, I'll go over a little bit of my stats. So as of right now, as it sits, I have a 3.1 KD from playing almost 95% ground war, and I have 682 kills with the HDR. My win-loss is almost a 1, but I'm not really care about my win-loss. I just like dropping high kill streak games. And just what was another thing? So back to Barracks records. I'll show you the amount of kills I have. So I have almost 1,900 kills, and just think about that. Almost 700 of them are with the HDR. Almost all the other ones are probably either, I mean, some of them are with the 725 and the M13 and like the M4 and all that. But almost a lot of them are from kill streaks from this setup. So if you use this class setup the way it's supposed to be used, you will get kill streaks eventually, as long as you're persistent, you're picking the right shots. And God forbid, don't just spam shoot this like just play it like a sniper would in real life, because you die super quick in this game. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. Like I said, please be sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. This is God Achilles. I'm out. Peace.